Oh shit, ladies and gentlemen, how you doing out there? This is Intergalactic Interviews, and this is episode 164. Did you start this off by hitting the?
I did, yeah.
The vocal cover. The voice you just heard is the wonderful, the talented Jayme Parkin. How you doing, sir?
I'm good.
Making a return to the show.
It's been a year.
It's been about a year, right?
It's been about a year.
I think you were here last April.
Yep.
A lot has changed for you in the last year.
Yep.
You've been doing well for yourself. You had an album, it charted.
Yes.
That album is Black Dog, available everywhere right now and streaming. Everyone should go check it out. It's one of my favorite albums, actually. I've checked out in years.
Thank you.
Years, man.
That's dude, I really appreciate that. Thank you.
It's great to be able to talk about it now because last time I had you on the show, I was talking about it. It's such a, roundabout way because it hadn't come out yet. So I was trying to be like, hey, everything I heard, I loved it. I think you guys should get ready for it. But then it came out and it did well, man. Like people liked it. You know, you seem to have built like a little bit of a following that people want to see what you're doing.
And it's weird.
It's weird, right?
It's like 16-year-old kids.
You're right.
Yeah, like a lot of high school kids.
Yeah, not an old timer like you. What are you, a 20?
I just turned 21.
21?
Yeah. Oh,
geez. I mean, like, you know, you should be thinking RRSP at this point.
I know.
Like, come on.
I got to retire.
You're dope as fuck, man.
Thanks.
I think something that's really cool about you is you're this producer that just totally captures moods. You absolutely capture like complete thoughts. Something I was doing before the podcast was I was walking around just listening to the album. And I've done this a few times.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah, really.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I've done this a few times, but like I'll always get into the way you sequence records are so good. I want to give you a few compliments first before we get into this.
Okay.
I have them in front of me here, so I know exactly.
What's your favorite song first?
Oh, okay. So I knew you'd ask that. It's a combination. It would be between Bad Friends and, am I saying this next one right? Aberlour?
Aberlour, yeah.
Aberlour.
Yep.
What is Aberlour? What does that mean?
I believe it's a place in Scotland, but it's a type of scotch.
Type of scotch?
Yeah.
You talking to a Jack Daniels guy? I'm like, I don't know any other liquor. I guess I'm just dumb. I love that record. Aberlour actually speaks to me the most. That matches my mood right now big time. When I walk around, that hits me. I actually like see other people's lives in front of me. I like stop thinking about me and I start thinking about others. Which is like, you know, for me right now, this is like a major point. A difficult thing recently for me is trying to like stop fucking focusing so much inside. It sucks, you know how that goes. And that kind of brings me to the title of the record.
Black Dog.
Black Dog. Now, you told me this already way back when I first heard the record.
Did I play you the demos? I played you the demos.
I think so.
Yeah.
I was really captivated by the fact that you'd recorded so much ambient sound to go with your songs.
Yeah.
What is the story behind the title of the album?
Well, this is like the first time I've got to talk about this like publicly, I think.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Well, I know it means a lot, and I've recently come to terms with some stuff on the show, and that's why maybe this kind of speaks to me a little bit more. But I want to hear what your version of explaining why the album is titled Black Dog.
Okay. Well, I originally first heard the term in, I want to say 2016.
Okay.
2016 in Vancouver. I was down here for a trade show with my boss, and like the trip was kind of just like going a little funny. Mm-hmm. And we were sitting in the hotel room, and like the night before we had like food poisoning. I like broke one of like my necklaces it's like kind of like a family heirloom, like it was given to me by my uncle.
Okay.
And there was just some stuff going on back home for me, and we're like kind of sitting in the hotel room, and I was about to take off to the airport because I was leaving earlier than him, and he was like, yeah, Joe, the Black Dog's got you. And I was like,
the Black Dog?
I was like, what did you say?
Yeah.
And he's like, the Black Dog, Jared. It's like, it's, you know, it kind of means like a bad mood or like depression. And I was like, interesting. He's like, yeah, you can look it up. Like it, you know, it's a term and a metaphor or whatever. And I was like, okay, cool. So I kind of read up further into it. And I read that it was kind of popularized by Winston Churchill. Mm-hmm. And he used the term a lot in his journals as like, I guess, like a personification. It was like a way to like make his like depression and things like that like a tangible thing, right?
Right. Because
like,
it was more relatable in that it's this like entity.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, he would say that he'd be like waiting for the train or something, and his black dog would like be around the corner, you know, and he'd feel like he'd want to like jump in front of the train or something.
Yeah.
Or he'd be like near the edge of like a balcony, and he'd be like, if he saw his black dog there, he'd have to get away from the edge of the balcony.
Yeah, he's super dark, but he was such a motivational leader.
Yeah.
It's incredible that so many people in history, a lot of leaders had such moody personalities.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Very strange. So you gravitated towards it because of that.
Yeah.
Did you watch In My Darkest? What the fuck is it called?
Darkest Hour?
Yeah. Did you watch that?
No, I saw some Gary
Oldman's amazing.
Yeah, he looked really good in it.
Yeah, he looked like depictions of him so well. Yeah. I think he won Oscar for that, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he won Best Actor.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Gary Oldman fan, but I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. I think I'd love it.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of waiting for like a good time to watch it. You know, I get like that sometimes.
You just gotta wait.
Yeah. Do you really get like that with content when you want to watch something or listen to something? You like save it, or are you the kind of person that just listens to it right away or watches it right away?
It really depends. I mean, I don't watch a lot of like TV or anything. Like I kind of watch movies. I go on like little binges, but like for music, like if it's like an artist that's like important to me, like it's like instant. As soon as it drops, I need to hear it.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
So like there's no like period where you like, okay, I gotta have everything right and straight before I listen to it. No. Okay.
No.
That's interesting. I always have to have like a certain environment. It's like
Really?
I can't be distracted. I can't, you know, like if a new record drops from someone, especially like a big, like, you know what, man? I still haven't listened to all of 444 in its entirety by Jay-Z.
My friend, my really good friend, he plays like a couple tracks off of it, and I really like them. I haven't listened to a full Jay-Z album, and there's somebody out there that's gonna be like, yo, screw this kid.
You've never listened to
a full Jay-Z album. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Not even the Black Album?
No.
Wow.
I'm like not a huge Jay-Z fan, but that's not me being like he's like, I'm not saying he's like boring or anything. I'm not like speaking ill of Jay-Z at all. Like it's just like it's just not.
Sounds like you really hate Jay-Z from a fundamental level.
Dude, I hope he sends some Rock Nation goons after me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, so back to your hate about Jay-Z.
Yeah.
The main point I was getting to though is like the way people consume content is so much different.
Mm-hmm.
When you put out an album, because this is like an album, how many cuts is this? This is like 11 cuts. So when you put out an album like Black Dog, this album represents like a period of your life. It's not an EP.
No,
it runs longer
it's like
than
a big
that.
chunk.
It's like an album, you know.
So there's a lot of feelings in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your favorite song on it?
Florida or Everything or Lexi.
I'm very curious. Why did you say Florida so quickly?
I wrote that song probably like a couple days after I had the interview with you. Actually, I wrote it in like a day and like recorded most of it in like a day.
Wow, really?
And it just like came out really easy. It was like right after I got back from Florida.
Is that before or after we did some keys together? What was that?
That would have been like right after.
Right after,
yeah,
eh?
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
But yeah, Florida's like easily my favorite song. I don't know. It just feels so good when I listen to that song.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Seriously, that's really cool.
Thanks.
I like having even the tiniest bit of association with that. Like just that you made that after doing the podcast.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool.
No problem.
Let me ask you something. Your transitions. I wanted to bring up this one specifically. The transitions between Replacer and Everything.
Yeah. When
those records sequence, what was that totally the first draft? Like how did you do that? Because like I listened to that and I was like that sounds like someone not 20 made that.
Thanks,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to say.
I get
it sounds like very on the mark. I don't know how else to put it, but when I'm listening as a producer, I'm like, there's certain things I listen to where I'm like, this has to fall here, this falls here, I want this here, I want this here, and every time I listen to it, I'm not critiquing, I'm listening. Do you know what I mean? Like it's right in that zone where I'm not like trying to reverse engineer it or something. I'm just like, whoa, this is cool. This just naturally locks. So what is it? How did you come up with that?
Well, everything was finished, or kind of like the idea was like conceived like way before Replacer. Everything, that sample in it, the Skytrain sample, I recorded that in like 2016. Probably like I want to say October, like right before I went back home, because I was supposed to be living down here at that point. Couldn't find a place to rent. And then I like went back home.
Back to Yukon.
Yeah, so I had that song recorded, or that sample, sorry.
Right.
And then, I started a few of the songs on the record before everything. And then I just like had that sample, and I had my ukulele, and I just started it and worked on it over about a month or two. And then Replacer, it was kind of just like I had the original little like kind of, like the woozy little lead synth at the beginning. I had that, and then I like the recording in the background of that is in the Starbucks like beside my work. Like you can hear some of like the steam like coming from like those like I don't know,
the French
espresso
press.
And like stuff like that. Like you can hear those in the background, and I just like recorded in there one day. I just like use that in the track. Cool. But in terms of like transitioning in between the two, I just felt like Replacer, it's kind of like a pretty climactic point in terms of like the energy of it, I guess. Cause like, I feel like most people kind of describe the album as like meditative, I guess. Like a lot of people who don't instantly like lock into it, like emotionally, they'll call it like chill or like meditative. You know what I mean? So with Replacer, I thought it was like more of a high point for the energy in the album. And then everything kind of takes you back to like a softer landing. Right. It's kind of like, Replacer's like the anxiety and stress of everything, and then everything is like, it's kind of the come down,
Why that title?
Everything?
Yeah.
I was going to call it Everything Feels Empty, because it's like being in a SkyTrain alone and everything just feels pretty hollow, I guess. And like the file is called Bleach, and I was gonna call it Bleach, but then I just like ditched that because I felt, I don't know, everything just is like, I like really broad kind of like ambiguous things, I guess.
I'm exactly the opposite. Everything is titled like so specific.
Really?
Like it has to be. Like for me, it's like, I mean, I also wrote a record called Chill, and like so I'm not like it's the complete opposite sometimes. Yeah. But like I like to. I don't know, like beat names way back in the day before I did my comp series. Yeah. And I just broke like 616 or something like that. So before I started my comp series of like numbering beats and projects and things like that, I used to write very specific titles because I want to remember what it was. So I'd say like some beat would be called like, I'm talking like this is like 2004, 2005. I'd say like Thrown in the Wood Chipper. And I'd be like, oh yeah, this one's
this one. Yeah.
Or what was another one? It'd be like Sweating As You Say This. Shit like that. Like just weird fucking beat names. Yeah.
I wish I was more specific, because like when I'm sitting down at my computer, like when I'm walking around, like I'll have all these titles in my head that I'm like, ooh, this would be good. And I have like a notepad in my phone that I like keep these titles for like future songs.
Right.
But like when I'm sitting at my computer, I'll just name something like super dumb. Like I don't know.
Well, let me ask you this. With production, what's something you want to work on? Like, what's something you like look at your own craft and you're like, say, I want to improve on this?
Always songwriting. I don't want to be looked at as like a producer or like an electronic artist or like a hip hop artist. Not that those are bad things. I just like, I want to be like the Lou Reed of my generation, I guess. I want to be like a songwriter.
Songwriter.
Yeah.
I like the way you did that, because that stands out. A lot of people kind of cling to their titles and whatnot. When I introduced you on the show as a producer, does that ring hollow with you?
No, not at all. I just
feel like that's apt.
For me, I just like, I look up to songwriters like Prince and like Lou Reed and like Iggy Pop and David Bowie. That's I just appreciate those, like like a lot of their albums, like their early work.
You like enigmas?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I feel like subconsciously I want to be like kind of like a cult of personality a little bit. Maybe that's just like what I'm thinking about. I don't know. I just
What's your favorite Lou Reed song?
Wagon Wheel.
Wagon Wheel,
or like I feel like it's like pretty cliche, but like Perfect Day. And I really like have you listened to After Hours off of Velvet Underground's self-titled record? After Hours is like, he got their drummer to sing it, and it was the first time that the drummer ever like recorded any singing. She was a female, and it's just like the kind of like the timbre of her voice. It's very kid-like. Like she sounds like maybe 10 years old on it, and it's just like, I don't know. His lyrics were just like super honest and straightforward, right? And I like things that are just like very cut and dry. You know what I mean? Like,
have you ever listened to any of Macaulay Culkin's? What is it? The Pizza. Have you heard of this?
No.
So he did a Velvet Underground cover band.
What?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Have you ever heard of this?
No.
Maybe we can Google this really quick while I try to explain the broad points.
Okay.
So Macaulay Culkin, this is a few years ago. This must have been like 7, 8 years ago.
Yeah.
He came up with this band concept.
The Pizza Underground?
The Pizza Underground.
What?
Now, all of their songs are just Velvet Underground songs, but they just changed the lyrics to pizza toppings. And,
Macaulay Culkin.
He plays the kazoo, percussion, and vocals.
yeah, what's one of the songs from? It should say like notable songs.
Let's see here. All pizza parties instead of all tomorrow's parties. Pizza gal instead of femme fatale.
Yeah. Take a bite.
Lou Reed's so take a bite on the wild side instead of walk
take
on
a
the
bite
wild
of the
side.
wild slice.
Oh yeah, well,
Silly, but I guess I heard him recently
he
on
got
another.
booed off the stage on the 2014.
Is he okay?
Yeah.
Is he like all right?
He's doing really well.
Okay, good.
He just started his own podcast, actually.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I heard him recently on another podcast, and he's doing quite well for himself.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
mean,
he's fine.
He
I
lives
feel
in
like-
France.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
the media likes to portray him as a train wreck, and
The media likes to
That
pick
sucks.
someone in every generation. It's
yeah,
really weird.
I hope I'm that guy. I hope
wanna be that?
Yeah, I want to be like, I want a headline that says like I was found in like a dumpster with like a fake baby and like meth on me or something. Like I want the media to like write a hit piece on me really bad.
It seems
Fair.
weird though. Like, I don't know. I remember like Rob Schneider was this like SNL complete all-star.
Yeah.
And then started doing films, and very slowly but surely he started becoming like the butt of jokes.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I mean,
you
the
know?
body of work produced
Right.
also, I think, contributed to
right,
this.
but like we're still talking about on a long scale of things, right?
Yeah.
So you put Rob Schneider in a room, in 100 people, he's probably still the funniest guy in the room. He's still probably the most.
Probably. He's
Yeah.
dusty though. He looks like he smells like onions. Like,
Yeah.
But everybody likes
talking,
onions. What are you talking about?
Talent though, like the way that people are perceived.
Yeah.
You know? Like if you're the worst player in the National Hockey League, you're still the top 500
tier, yeah.
in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? In the world. Feels
Yeah.
like the world's like your town. No, it's like the fucking world.
Yeah.
You know? Like
everybody that exists.
yeah,
like,
that kind of mentality. I'm just like, it's weird the media just singles people out and they're just
Yeah.
like, this guy is, it's okay to make fun of them, you know?
yeah.
I don't like that.
I hope I'm that guy one day.
Yeah.
Except I feel like I have to be like a front man or like a singer or like a rapper to achieve that.
Is that what you think is next? You want to do like band work?
Like
Like a
I
band
could,
project?
I want to, but like I don't know. Maybe I just have like a complex and I like to do things on my own. Maybe
Maybe.
that's it.
That's perfect for a band.
Yeah.
That's ideal. If you want a good drama band, that's ideal.
Turns out a lot of bands are built around this kind of
Yeah.
concept.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe you just need to revitalize Pizza Underground.
Yeah. Or Pizza Dog. I'll make Pizza Dog instead of Black Dog. I'll just like write lyrics to all the songs.
Okay, let's make up some titles
Pizza.
right now. Pizza Dog.
Okay.
Okay, so you can do I feel cheesy.
I feel cheesy. Or let me think. I feel like I'm eating too much pepperoni.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like they're all really vague names.
Well, like let's,
Sunday Slice.
I don't feel like
Sunday
we've fully broken
Slice.
down.
That's good.
I don't feel like we've fully broken down the black dog as a legendary creature, which I've actually looked into before. I didn't realize that.
Did you look this up?
Yeah,
Do you want to
honest-
read
so-
maybe a little bit of what you pulled up there?
So what I find interesting is that, like, classically, the black dog is a spectral or demonic entity of folklore in the British Isles.
Yeah.
Right? And I love this
That's interesting.
image of it here.
you
This,
see
like,
that?
It's this, like,
You see that, Jer?
creature.
So this is crazy. It looks like the Hounds of Baskerville
Yeah,
times
it's
10.
like a weird... There's even, like, these... It's like an ad or, like, sort of like some wanted...
What does that say? It's all like kind of old English.
Yeah, it's oldie-timey.
Oh,
Can't really
okay.
read that.
But
So-
it's neat though. It's
Wow.
association with electrical storms, crossroads, places of execution, or ancient pathways.
Whoa.
So it's like kind of a weird
Why-
force. You know what I mean?
Why
It's
crossroads?
cool. Just because that's where like shit happens at crossroads because you're gonna meet people, and people on average, you don't want to meet them on the road.
Of course.
know.
Have you ever watched the film Crossroads? Have either of you ever seen the film?
I have not. No.
It's got Ralph Macchio in it from Karate Kid.
Oh,
like the
I've
original.
never seen Karate Kid.
The original Karate Kid.
Yeah.
Great fucking film.
What year was that made? 84.
19 older than you are.
Yeah. 19 older than you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
Karate Kid. The first one's amazing. It's like it's super cliche and like kind of
84.
hacky. Right
Yeah,
now,
that's what I thought. I guess.
Kind of fucking funny because like I don't know, dude. It came out before I was born. You know.
Yeah.
So like I watched it later in life, but like Crossroads is a film that he did. The lead guy did right after. It's like his follow-up film, and he sells his soul to the devil.
Yeah, that's the story about Robert.
Yeah, and it's Robert, the jazz guy. What's his name? Robert. Can you look that up real quick? We both know the name. He was like blind or something, or he's actually the basis of what Bleeding Gums Murphy from The Simpsons is. Yeah, it's supposed to be a play off that.
Yeah.
Robert Johnson.
Robert Johnson.
Yeah. What did you type for a Google search?
I typed in Robert sells soul to devil.
Immediate.
Yeah, Robert Johnson.
Fucking famous. Yeah. That's pretty good.
He's a very influential musician. Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
I like his image, by the way.
Hey, did he murder his wife or something? He was like, can you look this up? I don't want to slander him, allegedly.
It's all fucked.
Oh, that's all fucked. That's okay. Can you just look into that and just interject when you find it? That'd be good.
Oh, one thing I wanted to add, though, was like, I decided on the name Black Dog like in February of 2016. When I heard my boss say it, I knew it meant something
right away in
my life. Like right away, I was like, that is the title. Because like before that, I had this working title, and I still want to use that title for something else.
Maybe for your sequel.
I wanna make a short film and then score the short film, and then have like the soundtrack and the short film be called like this title.
Wow, that's cool, man. I like that.
And anyways, yeah, Black Dog. Once like I got back from Vancouver in November 2016 back to Whitehorse, and that's when I started writing it. And I had all these samples that I recorded here and stuff, like the Skytrain thing. And basically like what I would do is I would make a song, and then I'd make another song, and then what I started to do is I started putting them into like little just like mixes, so they would play kind of just as one go, like on my phone
in one session, so you have everything lined up end to end.
Yeah, on my phone. And I started listening to it like every day on repeat, and then it would just keep getting bigger and bigger, and I started just like obsessing over it, and I like made it just like my everything. Like it just encapsulated like my whole kind of like world up until I finished it. And I started noticing like how many black dogs there are everywhere. And it's kind of strange because like like I'd see it and I'd just like I'd feel it something. Because like obvious, like
that's really strange.
I named it Black Dog because the album is ultimately about depression, I guess, in like a certain time period in my life, and I kind of identify as that character with that character. So yeah, it was just strange. I started seeing like these black dogs everywhere, and it was just like kind of weird. I don't know. And I still see them now, and like I'll be driving with my friends and they'll be like Black Dog, and we'll just like notice them everywhere now. Damn. It's kind of weird. Yeah,
that numerology is like that. Are you familiar with any of that?
Like, is it kind of like the movie The Number 23?
A little bit. Yeah. Basically, you just become obsessed. You see patterns and things. You ever talk to someone, they're like, every time I look at the clock, it's always 11:11.
Yeah, totally.
Like that. It's like you're subconsciously triggering yourself to do that, right?
Yeah.
But like, what is making you do that? Especially if you're actively not trying to do it.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's a bit of a logical fallacy, though, right? Like you don't remember all the times that you see it at 11:13.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like you basically
you notice it. You notice it because you're looking for it.
Yeah,
even though you've seen the clock.
You notice it because you noticed it. And
exactly.
You're zoning in on it, right?
Yeah, it's like confirmation bias almost.
Yeah, and you're also attracting those things in your life. Like if you're thinking about black dogs.
Yeah,
it's very possible.
I mean, it's like even people that own cars or whatever. It's like how often do you see the same model of car that you own? You're like, oh, I see another like Tiburon or whatever. You're like, yeah.
I always blame
you're thinking about it.
I always blame relative spawning for that.
What is
Grand Theft Auto?
Oh God, that's a different
relative spawning.
Yeah, but that's actually a system.
Everyone has a Ferrari. Wow.
Yeah,
I think they moved away from that a bit. I would actually like to talk to them.
Yeah. You talk to them?
No, I was saying I would like to kind of know the algorithms more about that. But
oh yeah, I got to tell you, I said I had a couple compliments for you.
Yeah,
I have another compliment for you.
Tangent, right?
Your album, Black Dog, has inspired me to put together this instrumental album.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
Dude, thank you.
Yeah,
yeah.
Shortly after you played me some stuff in the car, I started thinking about the viability for myself. Like, is it feasible for me to do something like that? Because, like, a lot of the time, the effort you put into records, if there's like a placement to be made with a rapper or an artist or singer or something like that, or like a film, or it's like, well, maybe it should go there. Maybe it should be there first and then see what happens, right? Yeah. That's very common. You know that. But then I was thinking more and more, and I've like let it incubate this like whole time.
Good.
It only kind of dawned on me like maybe 48 hours ago, but I was like, I think I just got to do this. It's gone from like, I'm just going to release a single, like just an instrumental, just, hey, there's some stuff, to like, no, I think I got a whole project. I'm just going to put it out. And I like the idea. I like how you did that. And I like how, I don't know, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like, you know, because I've released records where I'm rapping before, where it's like, this is exactly what I feel, and I'm putting it out exactly like this. But then I listen back to it, and it doesn't maybe reflect how I feel now. So I listen back to it, and I go, okay, like that was true for the moment and the time, and that's cool. Maybe someone connected to that was where. But I feel like with my instrumentals, the stuff I'm composing, I feel like what you're saying, where it's like, you know, this is something that captures moods. This captures like a feeling. This is like an era contained, you know. And I get that lyrically, you can do that as well. But man, there's something about it that I find really appealing. I really want to do it.
You should just honestly, man, just be as honest with yourself as possible. Like I feel like people really resonate with honesty, like whether you're seeking that or not in your music, you just find it. You know what I mean? You can tell when an artist is being authentic, like.
You seem very authentic. Like all your Instagram posts are just like,
thanks,
man. I'm just like this guy. There's no airs whatsoever.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I don't know. I try to be as like honest like all the time, like with everything that I put out, because I feel like a lot of things is just like a big dog and pony, act like a big dance for everybody else. You know what I mean? And like I don't want to do that. Like I just want to live for myself. I don't want to like look back on something and be like, why did I do that? Yeah, but yeah, man, just be honest with yourself and just like write love songs and write not love songs, like write songs about being sad. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I was like a interviewed subject this weekend for a psilocybin documentary.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I was asked to be part of this like shroom documentary.
Wow.
And, you know, talking about some experiences I've had in the past.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff that helped me creatively and reflectively looking back now helped me through some mental health issues that I didn't know I had at the time.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'd like to score that documentary. And that was a conversation I had out of that. And, you know, doing some scoring work before, that's like my favorite thing. That's my favorite thing to do. When you say that you want to do a short film and score it, dude, all the support in the world. I think you should totally do it. That's like, you know, I'm mixing a short film right now, and I'm not scoring it. I'm just mixing it.
Yeah.
And all I want to do is score it.
Yeah, make music too.
Yeah, I almost want to like score it. I don't know if I really have the time for this, but like I want to score it.
Yeah.
Just for me.
Well, that's what Tyler the Creator did when he was like when he wasn't rapping. He would like find movies that he liked and he would like make scores to them.
That's what I did with Fight Club with Lizzie.
Really?
I found
That's cool.
I found all the portions of Fight Club that had no because the Dust Brothers were the guys that
the Chemical Brothers did it, but they did it before they were the Chemical Brothers. I'm pretty sure.
Hold on.
Am I wrong?
We can verify this.
You want to verify that? I'm pretty sure it's the Dust Brothers.
Oh, okay. Somebody told me the Chemical Brothers like a year ago, so I could be wrong.
I might be wrong, but having rescored the film, I'll say like it was the Dust Brothers, right? Am I right about that?
Yes.
Damn. Okay, now I know.
That's okay. Chemical Brothers are crazy talented, and I really like them.
They also
they produced
MMMBop by Hanson.
Shocker.
which is nice.
What song is that? Can you sing it?
Bop.
Hanson, you never heard Hanson? You know, bop, dap, ba doo, sing dap, ba doo.
I probably have. I
You
just
would
can't
know it.
think
Boy
of
band.
it.
It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
It's kind of silly as fuck.
It's a boy band?
Yeah,
Oh,
but they thought
fuck
the lead, it was a big thing when they came out because it was three brothers.
Yeah.
But they all had long hair, and the middle brother was the singer.
Yeah.
His name was Taylor Hanson, and everyone thought he was a chick. There's a bunch of dudes that were like,
I don't remember that.
Yo,
Is that
Taylor,
really?
yo, Taylor Hanson's pretty sexy, man.
Really?
Yeah, and there was even a Family Guy joke about it that came out years after. When Quagmire's like, that Hanson, that singer's hot. It's like, dude, that's a guy.
Quagmire, that's a man or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, yeah.
It's a pretty cool like catalog actually. They got Paul's Boutique.
Yeah, they've
They
been
got-
around for a while.
Wow.
That's
Paul's
two
Boutique, yeah.
Beck albums and
dude.
soundtrack for Fight Club and Mbop. That's an interesting.
Those
That's
are
a
all
very
winners.
Yeah.
wide array.
They also produce a track
Yeah.
for the Spawn soundtrack with Korn.
Oh yeah, keep
Anyway.
the PA.
Yeah.
But
Anyway,
that's
weird.
that was a cover. That was a Public Enemy
Oh, okay.
remake. I'm pretty confident because that's a
Anyway,
whatever.
Good old Korn, man.
But yeah, man, it's pretty interesting. Like rescoring films was such a huge eye opener for me.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing that record for Mizzy, and I thought, I was like, okay, look, when we did that album together, it was just about resequencing the dialogue originally to make it fit for the story that we were retelling for Mizzy.
Right.
And then it eventually became like, hey, I have all this stuff that I've sampled that has no scoring, so I rescored it all. Some of it's more sinister, some of it's happier.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's very cool, man.
Yeah, it is. Well, it is what it is. Concept albums are interesting. That's why I gravitate towards your record.
Thanks, man.
I like it.
I like that you look at it like a concept album.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Starts
Thanks,
off
man.
walking
That's really
home.
cool.
You walk home. You know what I love?
I'm glad that you caught that.
Bro, right away. Right away. I listen to it when you say things like I feel like I'm dying.
Yeah.
It's by that point in the record usually where I'm like so introspective that sometimes the songs meld at that point. And I have to look. I have to remind myself of the phone what I'm listening.
Dude, that's makes me so happy.
Yeah.
I could I don't know if you want me to talk about it or not, but I could kind of give you some background information and all the samples. Well, when I say samples, it's things I recorded, right? In a lot of the songs,
Are you asking me if I want to know about it?
Yeah.
I mean, this interview isn't really about you, so I don't.
That's a good point.
I'm not really interested. But I'll be no, dude, bro. Obviously, come on. This is why we're here. I want to hear all that.
Walking home, you hear a bunch of kids in the park and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That was from 2014. I recorded that when I was in grade 12, and I was getting off the bus, and my friend, my good friend James, who was there when I originally downloaded Fruity Loops. If he watches this, hi James, I love you. But he his brother was recording some music at the time, and then his brother gave James gave him this iRig microphone that you could plug into your iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
And then James was like, "Oh, dude, I'm not gonna use this. Take this," and he gave it to me. And it was the first day that I had it, and it was April. I want to say April 24th, 2014. I was getting off the bus, and I was walking home from the bus, and the bus stop was near an elementary school.
Right.
And I was kind of just capturing that. You can hear the cars pass by me and stuff, and then some of the birds in the background are from the cliff near my house where I was living at the time. And then when that song ends is actually just when the recording ended and I got home kind of thing. I kind of think of it as me actually getting home and closing the door, and then things kind of start, right?
Did you score it then to the length of the sample?
Yeah, without noticing it. I did. I just had it in my sequencer.
Right.
And I just cause what I did for a lot of those sounds is I wrote these chords on an E piano kind of thing, and then I slowed it down, I think 5 semitones, and stretched the sound out so it sounds a lot more synthetic.
Yeah.
And,
I love hearing different styles and stuff like that. I can think of maybe one song I produced maybe that I fucked with any kind of pitch or semitones.
Really?
It's if I can't play it, then I don't do it kind of thing. But I love the experimentality of it. Your method of doing that. When you were telling me last year when you're on the show and we were talking about that session we did together, and I was like, yeah, I play keys for a bit, and then you took the files, and I was like, hope this turns out rad, and it turned out fucking amazing.
Thanks, man.
But I look back on that and I go, okay, so when you were like, yeah, I've like pitched them down, and I did this, and I added the effect, and I've like pulled this into it. I'm like, that's crazy. That's super cool, because like that's just different. Like it's just different philosophy. It's like martial arts.
Interesting.
It is. It's like your kung fu, my kung fu.
Cool, man.
Right?
Thanks.
They meet up, and it's just like, yo, I like it.
Well, I think like I wanted to make like an ambient song on the album, and the way that I went about the album originally is like I wanted to make really organic sounding electronic music, right? Because like a lot of the drum samples on that are like things I recorded like in Bad Friends. There's like a car door being closed. There's a garage door being closed, and I Feel Quiet. Like that type of thing. I use that all over the record. I use like my guitar pick like scraping against my teeth. I used like my pen hitting my desk, like just things like
super
that.
Organic.
Yeah, I felt like I wanted to use like the sounds like people ignore a lot of the time. You know what I mean? Like things that people normally push to the side, like the sound of like a coffee shop, or like the SkyTrain sound that you hear every day, but you don't really think anything of it. It's just like you're running on autopilot on the time, and people don't notice these things, and how like, you know, beautiful these things can be in a certain sense, right?
Yeah. I think that there's something subconscious there that pulls people into it, because it's so natural. Like I'm telling you from a listening perspective, like when I listen to it, man, like look, I wasn't involved in any of these sessions. I'm a pure listener, right? Yeah. So I'm listening to them, and I'm just like, it just feels right. You know, earlier when I was saying like I don't reverse engineer it, I'm like, that's rare for me. Like I listen to a lot of stuff I love, and the first thing I do is like
pick it apart.
Yeah, I'm like, how do I do this? But it's like yours. It's like I feel like I'd be like, you know, pulling a pattern out of a Afghan or something like that. You know what I mean? Like it'd be like I would just destroy it. Do you know what I mean? Like I wouldn't. Cool, it's almost like I don't want to touch it, because it's like, this is fucking rad. I don't want to.
I have an album like that in my life that like heavily influenced like Black Dog. That like I try to pick it apart, but I'm like, it doesn't make sense to pick this apart, and I don't even know where to begin. You know what I mean? Like
what album's that?
Bad Vibes by Shlomo.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's my guy, man. That's like who I look up to the most. He's
the most.
Yeah.
Interesting. Do you have a favorite Shlomo cut you want to share?
Dude, off top, it's called "I Can't See You, I'm Dead."
Wow, what the fuck? I've never heard this record.
Oh man, it's like,
you recommend this? Is like, I have to go.
This album saved my life when I was in high school, for real. Like I love that album so much. Are you looking at it, dude?
Oh, I can. Yeah. Sorry.
Just look at the cover. Yeah.
Yeah. Pull that up. Thanks, C-Mart.
I can't. I don't have like. I couldn't. We could devote like a whole show to me talking about how that album makes me feel. Like tell me how it makes you feel. Man, like I don't know. Like my good friend Zach, who makes music too, back in Whitehorse. Like he showed it to me in like, I want to say either grade 10 or like grade 11, and
last week.
Yeah, I just graduated. But
just a young fella. That's why I was just like,
what was the? It's a song.
Bad Vibes. Yeah, the song's called "I Can't See You, I'm Dead."
Oh, okay. Yeah, it came out in 2011. It says.
But the album's Bad Vibes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I've met him twice. I got him Black Dog before it was released on a USB. I wanted to get signed to his label that he has in like, it's like a music collective based out of LA called We Did It. And I got a USB of it to him at the show. He never hit me back, but like I don't know, either I'm gonna do it on my own now, or like I figured out that with his like kind of collective that he does, he likes to kind of pick up people as they're just formulating a fan base, not just like some fresh kid. It's like the music's cool, but like the fan base isn't there, right? Like you need some sort of
kind of like where you're at
backing
right now. You're
you're
getting there. Yeah. I think you're building towards that, absolutely.
Yeah, I went to. Do you know who Brockhampton is?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, dude, America's favorite boy band. But anyways,
which is fun. I love that. That's how they market it,
dude. They are a boy band though. Like if you were at the show, you'd realize that they're a boy band. Like
they're like
people go crazy for them, dude.
I know they're like 15 deep or some shit, right? Like how many people?
Yeah, there's like I want to say there's like 14 like members, but they count like their visual artists and their photographers as members.
So it's kind of like Boomsday a little bit in that way.
Mm-hmm.
I saw footage of Brockhampton. This is my first taste of Brockhampton. I saw footage of Brockhampton about 6 months ago, and they released some single, and it had only been out like maybe 2 weeks, and they did some festival, and the whole crowd knew
the Golf Wang Carnival.
I think that's what it was. And every the footage was crazy. Every fucking person in the crowd knew the song, and they were blown away on stage because they're like, dude, this just came out. Like 2 weeks ago. Not even exaggerating.
Like August 15th it came out, I think. And then the Golf Wang Carnival was at like the last show of like a tour they were doing, and it was like I want to say 12,000 people or 15,000 people.
Yeah.
And they just
wild.
went nuts. Oh,
that's wild.
You're right, but my story.
Sorry,
dude. Like
I know you're like talking about Brockhampton there. Okay.
Man, I love them so much.
Go ahead. Let me know.
So I went to the Brockhampton show that was here on the 26th of February, I think, and I was like, "Is at the Vogue?" And like I got my ticket like 2 hours before the show, maybe an hour before the show. So I went. It was at the Vogue. Saw Nardwuar outside and like had a little moment, and then
Jayme Parkin, why don't you tell me a little bit about your life?
Man, there's like, it's funny. My friend Dustin has been kind of like with me through like this whole kind of journey of like, you know, making music. Like he was there in like grade 7 when I like recorded like this demo as Leprosy. I was like a death metal band.
Okay.
Yeah, but he was there for all that. Anyways, he's like, we'll be talking or like doing something, and he'll be like, that's like a Nardwuar thing that'll be brought up like in your Nardwuar interview, because that's like one of my goals, like to earn that interview.
Yeah.
But anyways, is at the Vogue, and I was like in the kind of like standing at the back of the crowd that was forming in front of the stage, and I'm kind of like looking around, and then I like look to my left and I see this girl with like pink hair. Don't really think anything of it. I'm like still kind of standing there, glance at her again for a minute because like, you know, I'm by myself, there's nothing really else to do, so I'm just looking around listening to my music in my headphones, and I noticed she's like wearing like a paperclip choker, and I was like, why do I feel like I know that like necklace, like weird?
Yeah.
And I'm looking at my phone, and then I like looked at like a story on my phone, like on Instagram, and it was this girl that I followed back because she followed me because like around the time that my album came out, and it was her, and she was like, oh, wearing a paperclip choker today, and I was like, no, like there's no way. So like I look at her profile, and I was like, looked at her, and I was like, no way. So I like looked at her, and she she noticed me looking at her, and I like kind of like was giving her like a funny look, right? And I was like, hey, like I'm really sorry if this is weird, but like, is your name Haley? And she looks at me, she's like, oh my God, like, are you Jeremy? And I was like, yeah, like, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
And she was like,
I'm from the internet.
She's like, yeah, like, she's like, oh my God, like I didn't think I'd ever meet you. And she was like, it was like meeting like a fan, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like somebody who doesn't know me personally, but like enjoys my music. And I didn't have any like Black Dog stickers or anything on me, but I like realized that I had like one of my buttons on my hat, and I gave her my button, and she was like super stoked.
Nice, man.
And
that's cool. Those kind of moments are so cool, man. It's really cool when you can see the reality of it.
Yeah.
You know, something about the podcast that's weird is like you can put it out and not hear for like months, sometimes years, and then someone will go ahead and they'll like binge 40 fucking episodes, and then you get a message and be like, hey man, blah 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 blah, and it's like not really maybe relevant even to your life anymore. You're like, hey, yeah, that record came out, or you know, this kind of thing. Like we're talking about this right now.
Yeah.
Someone can listen to this 5 years from now.
The internet, man.
Right? And they're like, it's funny Jeremy's talking about Brockhampton since he's done so many records with him so far, you know, kind of blah blah blah.
Oh man.
That kind of thing. We're like the connection. But then in person, someone comes up to you, you get immediate feedback. They're like, hey, what's up, man? They're like, hey, I love this. Yeah. You're like, have a pin.
Yeah.
From my own hat.
Yeah, that was crazy, dude. Like, I was so humbled. That was like, it was a good like motivator. Not that I ever feel like giving up, because this is like the one thing in my life that like I'll always be very focused on. But it was just like a good like, you know, kick in the ass. Like,
yeah, man.
Yeah, keep going. It was cool. Yeah, it was really cool.
That's rad, dude. Man, I'm so happy to see you doing well. I really am stoked on the record. I think it's amazing.
Thank you.
Got to shout out Holy Sock Gang. Got to shout out Black Dog again. I want to know from your own words what your next move is. You said you're doing the short film. You want to do the short film next. How far along are you? Is this still gestating? Like,
it's just like, it's in my head. That'll probably be like a year or two down the road. Because like right now, I think like I'm 43 days away from releasing a Black Dog remix EP.
That's right.
Yeah.
I was trying to set you up for this. That's why I wanted you to say.
So it's four of my favorite songs that I did different versions of. I'm not gonna like give anything away because like it's kind of like it's gonna be special for
that's cool.
a certain person. But yeah, like for example, like Everything, like that song, I did like the version that I do live. Like, cause like I performed that like almost the whole album live for like my birthday, which was also a fundraiser. But I added like a guitar tone on it, and it's like it hits like it has like a little bit more of a punch to it. It's cool.
Do you prefer it?
I do actually. Yeah, it's a little bit more dismal. Like I feel like the back half of the track is like pretty like melodramatic and like like everything sucks. But this new version it's a little bit like angrier. It's
works better live, right? It translates better.
Oh yeah.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
I like that, man. Okay, well, Black Dog remix record coming out soon. Available on all multi-platform streaming.
Yeah, it'll be on everything else.
Everywhere, right?
And I'm working on a bunch of new songs that I think I'm going to release like a 4-track EP of like new stuff. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Do you have a title for that? Yeah, do you have a title for that yet?
No. But I'm working on the art.
Black Pack.
Black Pack. No, it's called White Cat.
Oh, nice.
White Cat.
No, that sounds weird. It sounds like a sexual thing.
White cat. I don't know.
Let's go pick up some White Cat.
Yeah. Gray squirrel.
Sounds like drugs. Let's go pick up some White Cat.
Yeah.
No,
yeah, or weird vodka.
Yeah, you're right.
You notice how the siren started when you said that?
I know. Oh, jeez, we got to wrap this up. We got to go. Jayme Parkin, if people are so inclined, how to visit you. Jayme Parkin, how can they do it?
Please follow me on Instagram. I feel like that's like my main. Oh, it's at Jer Parkin, JERPAR.
Yeah, we have it up right here.
Yeah, beautiful. Check that out.
You can see the really dumb things that I post.
You post. It's funny sometimes. I see them and I'm like, this is dumb, but it makes me laugh every time. I'm just like, this is silly.
I've realized
this
that
one?
like.
Good.
I'm like, this one's awesome. Like learning to fly.
Nice.
I like this one. That's
Thanks,
dope.
man. That was in the like this local newspaper back at home. I was doing like this like it's called like the Folklore Show, and they like tricked me into becoming the cover of the paper, and I was like, I wasn't prepared for this, and they just like gave me this guitar and they're like, pose with this, like look like you're doing something, and I was like, okay.
I like that shit, man. I like what you're doing, bro. I really
Thanks,
want you
man.
to keep moving and keep things going, man.
Yeah.
And like,
Who's this not Black Dog in here?
What?
Oh yeah, this.
Oh, that's Red Dog. No, I'm serious. That was my dog's
photo.
name. Red Dog.
C-Mart just pulled up.
Sorry.
C-Mart just pulled up an Instagram photo of Jayme Parkin.
Yeah, it looks like the inside of the album.
And
it's the back.
The back.
The back of the album.
Checklist.
And sorry, there is a dog on the in the photo, but he's not black.
Yeah,
that was the
Red Dog.
Yeah,
non-noir.
Her name was Red Dog, and
that's nice.
That was the dog I grew up with.
Oh, that's nice.
That's sweet.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. Makes sense.
Like a couple days before I was like submitting it, I was like going through these pictures at my mom's house, and I found that, and it just like it felt pretty profound with the title of it, and like the look on my face in that picture too. Yeah, I just felt right. So I was like, okay, this is gonna be the tracklist picture, and then there's like the alternate cover too that I did.
Nice,
dude. Jayme Parkin, you're a very talented guy.
Thanks, man.
I'm so glad you came to do this.
This was a good experience.
I'm glad we made this work. I know it was like kind of almost last minute a little bit putting it together, but I'm glad we actually sat down and made this happen. Man. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are so inclined, you enjoyed today's episode, or you want to look at past content, we definitely recommend you check out Intergalactic Interviews. And make sure you go ahead and check out our sponsor. Our sponsor today for today's show is Floathouse. What you want to do is go on over to floathouse.ca and use our podcast promo code IIPodcast. That gets you 20% off your next float. Inside Floathouse is also the amazing Vancouver Cryotherapy.ca. You want to check out Vancouver Cryotherapy. It's amazing. Works so many wonders in your body. Norepinephrine. What? Norepinephrine. Just maxing out in your body. Maximum anti-inflammatories.
That sounds really good.
So good. Honestly, you feel so charged up when you do it. And if you're so inclined, do the float freeze combo. Is that what Mike Zaremba called it that one time?
Is that what? I feel like that's what you're calling it.
No. He was on the show, and that's what he called it. He called it. He's like, you want to do the float freeze combo? And I was like, the what? So yeah.
In his demonic voice,
he's like, hey, you want to do it? You want to do it? I don't think Mike sounds the voice of an angel.
Yeah, not that.
Yeah. But yeah, you guys want to check it out, use our podcast promo code IIPodcast. Get yourself 20% off your next float. It's amazing. I float. We float. Jayme, Parkin, do you float?
My boss does.
Yeah. Well, we need you to have your own experiences moving forward.
I want to try, but like I've seen Altered States. I'm not really messing around with this stuff.
The tanks luckily aren't as aggressively
not even close.
Like crafted as they are in Altered States.
The amount of times Altered States comes up when we talk about Floathouse is
it should be
common, right?
It shouldn't be uncommon considering it's a whole movie about it.
I know, but like
and not really about it, just about the loose idea.
Yeah, but I don't like talk about the Habs, and then someone's like, "Hey, I watched Mighty Ducks."
Yeah, but
Jesus
Christ, is that really relevant?
Exactly.
No, but I mean,
exactly.
I never seen anything either. I can't. I don't watch hockey.
Jayme Parkin, I assign you to finish Netflix before we talk again.
Okay.
Entirety.
Just achievement unlocked.
You ever seen The Holy Mountain?
What's that?
It's this movie. I forget the director's name. He wrote it and directed it, but he also, like, the film that he made before this was El Topo, and George Harrison and John Lennon really liked El Topo because it's quite psychedelic. There's a lot of religious imagery in it, and
wow.
They funded a lot of The Holy Mountain. Like, they put in a good portion of the budget, and like I think the Beatles manager was like one of the main producers of the movie. But anyways, The Holy Mountain, it's really weird. There's very minimal dialogue.
Damn.
It's really weird. Go home and watch it. It'll
Alejandro
really disturb you.
Jodorowsky.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
And it was produced by the Beatles manager Alan Klein.
Yep.
God damn, you're a smart fella.
Oh no, I'm not. I just regurgitate information. That's all I do.
That's this whole podcast, please. Jayme, you're awesome, bro. We love you. We want you to come back very soon. Okay?
Thanks. Bye.
Congratulations on the remix that will come out very soon. 43 days, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for watching. From C-Mart and myself, we love you guys. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.